Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, powerhouse kings and queens, I'm Cheapy Goggins, I'm a frag freak, and welcome to my comparison video. Now, a friend of mine who works in Debenhams, the Dior counter of Debenhams no less, hi Kate, hope you're well, said to me, Zoop, have you heard of this fragrance that Primark are selling that is meant to smell almost identical to Tom Ford's Black Orchid? I said, no Kate, tell me more. But I didn't hear what she said because I was gone. So I went to a shop and I said, shut up and take my money. To which this woman replied,
I'm sorry, love, I don't work here. You need to go to the counter, or that little machine over here. And by the way, this is Argos.
So I went to Primark and I said, shut up and take my money. To which this guy replied,
I'm the security guard, sir. You need to go over to the counter.
So I went over to the counter and I said to the woman, do you have that fragrance that is meant to smell very similar to Tom Ford's Black Orchid? To which she replied,
I don't know anything about fragrances, but I know that we have some over there.
So I went over there and found this men's fragrance called Noir, okay? There was about 6 of them there, and they had all been opened, every single one of them. There wasn't a tester, but they'd all been opened. Now, I live in Hounslow, West London, right? And I don't know if you know anything about Hounslow, but let me tell you something about the average Hounslow resident. The average Hounslow resident likes nothing more than to, 1, grab a bargain, and 2, rummage and tamper. Okay, so open, mess, fling. That's your average Hounslow resident, okay? So, imagine opening them all like that, right? How am I supposed to turn my nose up at it if I don't know what it smells like? So the person's opened the first one and gone, oh, maybe this one smells a bit different, and opened that one and then gone, now those ones look strange, I'll open them all, right? No, I don't want that. It costs £6. I could buy a bag of rice and some onions with £6. Am I painting too clear a picture here? Anyway, right? Our local Primark, you should see it at the end of the day. Our local Primark looks like a small army of poltergeist has had a pitched battle with a tornado inside an aircraft hangar full of poorly made but very reasonably priced clothing. Like a jumble sale. Boom, boom, right? I wonder if they've got a separate clean-up team. Send in the clean-up squad, and don't forget the fumigation gear. So I grabbed this one bottle that looks like it's only been sprayed a couple of times and take it to the counter and buy it. Here it is. I got it home. It is a men's fragrance here. It says a warm fragrance with base notes of smooth cocoa, tonka bean, blended with delicate orchid and bergamot, creating a luxurious evening scent. Eau De Parfum. It is made in Turkey. And it's got some various other information on the bottom there, including the date of production, which is February 2018. This is what the bottle looks like. It's a 75ml. Pour Homme Noir Eau De Parfum. Woody, spicy, masculine. That's what it looks like, okay? Now, in comparison, here is Tom Ford Black Orchid, which I do own. This is expensive stuff. Yes, it's higher end designer fragrance, which I personally think is an absolutely astounding quality, pushing in towards niche territory, and it is rather expensive. This one retails for £115 for 100ml of Eau De Parfum like I have here. I got mine cheaper. I was lucky enough to find it in TK Maxx for £79.99. They had 2 bottles of it. Guess how much they had after I left?
Thank you.
So I decided to leave it until I'd worn it a couple of times before I made any judgments or anything like that. The information that I had from Kate was that somebody had put it on their clothing, it lasted for absolutely days, the performance was really good on it and stuff like that, and I thought, really? Because this cost me £6, right? I sprayed them on here a little while ago. I've got Tom Ford Black Orchid on this side, and I've got the Noir on this side, okay? This is only sprayed on about 15 minutes ago, so the dry down has begun, at least. Well, it hasn't, but obviously that initial stage, the top notes and the alcohol evaporation is gone. My initial impression, and I have worn these extensively, and I've worn both of them at the same time, one on one side and one on the other, as proper comparisons a couple of times now. The Tom Ford Black Orchid is obviously... Oh, before I go on with this, let me tell you, anybody who doesn't know Tom Ford Black Orchid, the original, let me give you a brief description of it, okay? It is a dark, unisex, although I believe slightly on the masculine side, very heavy, exceptionally heavy, sweet, dark, earthy, fruity, sort of incense-filled, slightly floral with some dark citrusy aspects in here. Really, really heavy, cloying, thick, syrupy, dark, different, unique, and certainly not for everyone, slightly polarizing scent. Okay, this is big stuff, heavy hitter. Longevity and performance on this one is utterly stunning. Now, I know I've said that about other things on this one, and I don't want to seem like the boy who cried wolf, but this one, the performance is excellent. Just have a look at the Fragrantica reviews and various other sites and stuff like that. You don't need to. Listen to me, because what I say is gospel, okay? Obviously. So that's a brief description of that one. It's definitely a very unique and different scent. So in comparison, first of all, I'll tell you what this one smells like, having recently sprayed it. It's dark and warm and cozy and very vanillic, and the patchouli is very strong. There's a sort of cocoa-y kind of dark chocolate kind of smell in here. There's a sort of, I don't know what truffles are meant to smell like or what the truffles actually do smell like, because I know I smell actual truffle, but it's got a sort of an earthiness, a real earthiness, a sort of muddy, wet soil kind of smell to it. And a sweetness which can only really be achieved by like that kind of vanilla thing. It's not sugary, it's not honeyed, it's very vanillic and almost slightly floral in its sweetness. There's a citrusy aspect in it, but it's very dark and almost slightly pungent. It's as if you'd taken some citrus fruits, cut them in half, put them into a plastic bucket, left them in the kitchen for a few days, and then smelled that. It's slightly gone off smelling, but in a good way, if there is such a thing, which it definitely is. Slightly almost mouldy kind of smell, but very intoxicating and beautiful. What this one has, now I'm going to do a fresh spray of each one, okay? So this one is the original Tom Ford Black Orchid.
Bring in the big guns!
There's the Tom Ford Black Orchid gone on freshly. Here comes the Noir. The sprayer is decent. Comes out in a fine mist. It fires quite a lot out, and it's not a bad quality bottle at all. It's not tacky. It's quite well made. That is plastic, but it fits on nicely and nice and snug like that. And the all-important "can you pick it up by the lid" applies there. Yes is the answer to that. It's quite thick glass. The label is straight, and it's reasonable quality at very least. So the freshly sprayed smell, now that alcohol has evaporated a little bit. Unmistakably the Tom Ford, obviously. Then this one. I'm going to put it at smelling 90% similar, okay? The things which make it different are, it does have a very synthetic nature. But what I've learned from this one is that synthetic smell that is when it's first applied, that is there when it's first applied, does die back, and you're left with a slightly more natural smell. It definitely has a synthetic element to it. And it's going to, isn't it? Because obviously it's a fraction of the price of this one. But the differences in the actual scent character, to me, are, while this one has the original has a very thick, deep, syrupy citrus aspect to it, this one is a brighter, fresher, almost artificial, brighter citrus aspect in it. It's almost translucent and watery and a little bit aquatic, this one as well. There's an aldehydic element in here, which means kind of airy and it's also, again, bright and slightly chemically. And the sweetness smells more synthetic. It doesn't have that very natural vanillic element to it. It smells more like a saccharine kind of smell, you know, like sweets themselves, like candy, you know, like those kind of gummy bears or something like that. That kind of sweetness. But to a professional nose or anyone who's really, really good with these things, they're probably going to be able to identify these differences and immediately and break down and tell you that this is completely different and nowhere near the quality and stuff like that. But that's what my nose picks up. Those are the differences to me. Okay, it's a little bit cooler as well, and a bit more effervescent, a bit fizzy almost, you know, this one. Whereas this one is like a still kind of dense, thick, syrupy, almost a paste, this one, when you put it on. You almost have to spread it on rather than spray it on. But that's the what I can pick up out as the details. But having said that, then once they dry down, they are very, very close. They're very close indeed, to the point where, now, you are talking to me, and my knowledge that I have of these notes, breakdowns, and things like that is pretty much all from experience. I don't have any training of any sort or anything like that, so I could be talking nonsense. Who knows? But if somebody were to pass me in the street, I don't know if I'd be able to go, that's Tom Ford Black Orchid, or that's that cheap counterfeit thing from Primark. Not counterfeit, but copy, dupe, you know what I mean? Performance, obviously, I've already explained about Black Orchid. Through the roof. Staggering performance. This one, I would put it at somewhere between 50 and 60% in terms of the projection, longevity, and sillage and stuff like that. But if you know how long this one lasts, you know that somewhere just above half of that in performance is still very good. You're getting 6 to 8 hours out of this one here, which is staggeringly good for a fragrance that costs £6. I can't believe it, right? If I don't need that one really necessarily, because I have Tom Ford Black Orchid, and if this runs out, I'll buy more. Okay, I will, because I like it that much that to me it's worth even full retail. If I couldn't find this anywhere except for full price, I would still buy more of it if this one ran out. It's that good to me, right? Definitely, no question. But if I didn't know about that one, or that one didn't exist, and now all of these things that I'm saying about this are in direct comparison. If I were to do a video of this on its own, as its own fragrance, for £6, I would be calling it genius, steal, through the roof value, of which of course it still is, because in comparison to that one, it's pretty damn good, to be honest. Now those differences that I've made about the synthetic nature here, there and everything are just basically to explain to you the differences that I find out of it, and to let you know that it's definitely not the same quality. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, powerhouse kings and queens, I love this to absolute pieces. It is in my top 10 fragrances of all time. This one, as a dupe, does a remarkable job. Now, you could go out and you could buy 4 bottles of this for £24. Primark still have it. And you would have 300ml of something that is remarkably akin to Tom Ford Black Orchid. So, what do I think in general and overall conclusion? Do you, in fact, have Tom Ford Black Orchid for £6 with this? Like hell. No, 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 no. This one is unsurpassable. It's the original, the king of this type of fragrance. For me, anyway. I'm sure there are niches out there that I've not discovered that are better or different or more preferable or whatever to this one, but for me it is unsurpassed and exceptionally beautiful. But this one, as a fragrance in its own right, utter no-brainer, folks. I think you may have heard it here first, I'm not sure. Who cares? I'm reinforcing the theory, I'm backing it up, okay? This has been Black Orchid, which I'll probably do a review of at some point. And this has also been Noir from Primark for £6 UK, ladies and gentlemen. That is ridiculous. I've been Zoopy Goggins. Thank you very much for watching. I'll put those down there. You can like if you like. You can comment if you wanna. You can subscribe if you would. You can press the notifications thingy. And, you know, share the video if you want to. That's completely up to you, obviously. Oh, thank you so much. And I will catch you next time. So safe man, chill out, enough respect, and all the best. You get me? Sweet.